Welcome to In the Kitchen with Kelly and Emily. We're here bringing you industry news and some lovely food and beverage. We're going to be making a specialty cocktail on every episode. This is actually our first episode. Some of you may know that we tried this before back when everything was virtual. Now we're live and we're really in the kitchen. So join us. Specialty cocktail, always, we promise. And then we will attempt to bake something and share the recipe with you so you can try it at home. I'm Emily Bowers, and this is Kelly Allen. We are going to have a guest today. Our guest is Rene Boudreaux.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes. All three of us will be working together. Kelly, why don't you tell us what we're going to be making today?
Awesome. So as many of you probably already know, this year convention is at Palmetto Bluff in South Carolina. So we have taken a southern flair to the cocktail and the baked item we're creating today. We're going to be making a mint julep, obviously with some bourbon, and we're going to be making a chocolate pecan pie, also heavy on the bourbon. So we're very excited to share these with you today. Renee, why don't you kick us off with a drink?
Yeah, I would love to. We're making a mint julep. It's like one of my favorite cocktails. It's very southern, like we were talking about, including the bourbon. So I'll just get us going through on that, and we will have some cocktails.
There's no shaker, there's no blender, so it must be easy to
No,
make.
it's super simple.
My kind of
it's
drink.
basically
Exactly.
it's basically going to be sugar, mint, and bourbon. Use a little bit of simple syrup, muddler, straightforward.
I imagine people will be ordering these at Palmetto Bluff.
Hopefully it is an option. 'Cause it's delicious.
I was just going to say, we might see some of these at the Welcome Jamboree this year.
Being a really sweet cocktail, it requires like a stronger bourbon, so it's really good for getting you where you need to go.
All right, well,
Love
let's
it.
go.
Love it.
Let's
absolutely. So I normally just do like 2 cubes to start out and some mint in the bottom. You'll add the simple syrup, you'll add the bourbon, you'll stir, and then you can enjoy it. So
Okay.
yeah.
And Renee, you're an expert on this because in a past life you were a bartender, right?
Once upon a time, yeah. Once upon a time, I spent a lot of time in kitchens and in bars, both as a patron and as a server. So
I hear you make some mean chocolate martini.
Ooh, yeah.
I made a few for
firsthand.
Emily at some point in time.
It's probably my favorite thing you've ever made me.
Chocolate martini.
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. Next episode.
Okay. Next
Chocolate
episode.
martini.
Do you want to come back and visit again?
Yeah, I come and make booze for you guys.
Oh.
I'm a great party trick, and come and create cocktails and hang out and apparently
Fantastic.
talk about BEMA and convention.
Well, so we can talk about convention, Kelly. Do you want to start making the pie crust?
Yes, definitely.
It's going to be wonderful. We're not going to need to pull one out of the refrigerator. This one's going to be fantastic. What goes into the pie crust?
So in our pie crust today, we're using a little bit of flour, some sugar and salt, super cold cubed butter, and then finishing it off with a little ice water to bring it all together.
Fantastic. So you were talking about mint juleps at the welcome reception. Let's talk about those networking opportunities at convention. We'll start it off with the welcome jamboree right away. There will be cocktails. And everyone is invited to the welcome jamboree. So we'll kick it off. There'll actually be a 1 cocktail cruise where you'll cruise right over to the welcome jamboree, which will be a pretty immersive experience on Moreland Island.
Yep.
Which is not
An
really
island.
an island.
It's actually a peninsula, but we
Yeah.
are taking little boats there, so that will be a new, different experience at convention this year.
Yeah.
It's an extremely misleading title.
Moreland
So say
Island.
It's an island when it's not actually an island. Seems.
It'll feel like an island. There's a fantastic, huge tree house, multiple stories.
Looks
the
over the
beautiful
May
bluff.
River and the marsh. Mm-hmm.
And it will be the mecca of networking as we kick off convention.
Yep, we're gonna have some live music. We're gonna have Low Country Boil with some oysters, and then because it is a peninsula, we're going to take trolleys back to the property at the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I be loud for a minute?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm just gonna pulse together our dry ingredients before I mix in the butter. That's not gonna work. It's frozen,
You said very cold.
but it's very cold.
You know what's not going to be very cold?
Palmetto Bluff, South Carolina in June.
I think you're right. So we're going to need those mint juleps.
We are gonna need those mint juleps for sure. For sure. I'm just gonna pulse this for a couple minutes until it comes together and looks a bit like a meal before I add in the water.
I can smell the bourbon.
I can smell those mint juleps down there.
It comes at you strong for sure. You want something strong when you're making such a sweet cocktail.
Okay.
Helps kind of cut that sugar because there's a lot of sugar in here. Sorry, but the bourbon being stronger really helps the flavors.
This will be a new one for me. I've had a mint julep, but I'm typically a beer or a wine. People might expect Kelly and I to be drinking wine in the kitchen, so really branching out here.
I made a test batch, so I actually already had one. So I'm actually.
He's warmed up.
I've had them in the past, and I've had one this morning.
Very good. Very good.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle in some water here, and then this will be finished, and we can start talking about the filling.
Fantastic. So we have networking with cocktails. We have a crust, sort of the foundation of our pie. I would say the foundation of our convention is the people. So when we think about who attends our convention, we have bakers, we have suppliers, we have multi-generational families that have come for decades. There'll be about 400 people total. So it's a big event. All walks of every organization. It's really quite a variety of people attend.
Hold it a few more times, and then the noise will be over. And it's coming together. Okay.
Pretty sure I've made that in a blender before.
Oh, you totally could make it in a blender. Yeah. So I'm going to roll this pie crust out. Emily, do you want to start on the filling?
Yes.
While I work on the
I would
finish
love
the pie
to,
crust?
but I'd really like to have a drink.
Oh,
Yeah, these are ready to go.
Taste it?
Heck
I don't
yeah.
want to
Thank you.
Don't keep us
interrupt too
waiting.
much of what's going on, but cheers to Convention
Cheers.
23.
Okay, Convention 2023 will be my 7th. Your
It'll be my 6th. I've been to 5. My first thing with BEMA was IBIE in 2016.
what a way to start.
Yeah, it's a little bit of thrown in there, but and then my first convention was 2017, which is Laguna Niguel, California. Some people who were watching this may have been there. You guys were there.
Beautiful
We were
property.
there.
Oh, it was fantastic. It really was nice. And now, for me, my 6th, Palmetto Bluff, should be just as exciting. So
I think so. Ours was a homestead.
Yep. We had the same first convention at the homestead in Virginia.
Yep. And it rained.
It rained the whole time.
It rained. It rained.
all you needed was me. I took the rain away.
You did take the rain
and
away.
then I
Thank
made it
goodness.
nice. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Yeah. All right. Well, cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers. Sorry, we probably already did that,
We
but
did.
All right. We
you
can
can't clink enough.
I'd say
Oh,
that's going to
that's
be a good
good.
convention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Let's keep it going. You're going to roll out the pie crust.
I'm gonna attempt to.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And I can start on the filling. The filling for the pie crust is salt, bourbon, what's this? Corn syrup, eggs, dark brown sugar, vanilla, chocolate chips, and pecans that have been lightly toasted for 8 minutes. We probably forgot to tell you. Preheat that oven to 375 so you can toast your pecans and then leave it on to bake the actual pie.
You're
So-
really pecan? I say pecan, not pecan.
Well,
Depends on where
Any
you are.
pecans here? No?
it depends. I think there's going to be a lot of pecans in Palmetto Bluff.
Oh, everybody in Palmetto Bluff is a pecan person, I think, not a pecan.
Okay.
Ask me after a few more mint juleps.
So this is, I think, Kelly, where'd this recipe come from?
This was on Food and Wine.
Oh, fantastic. Any
Yep.
specific order or just start dumping?
Nope. You can just dump all those ingredients in and just save the pecans and chocolate chips for the end.
Okay, I'm starting with
We'll
eggs.
fold those in.
Eggs. Okay, so we've talked about some pretty big parts of the pie, and Rene is a little bit more trained of a chef, so he's like, "You're doing it in the wrong order."
Dude, baking is not my thing. I've
Baking's
never
your
been-
business, but it's not your hobby.
Oh, I love baking. Don't get me wrong on the loving baking. I just I can't do it. It's too scientific. There's too much specificity.
You can't
Wow.
Specificity?
I don't know why I chose to go there, but
You
it's
can't
too
measure.
specific.
You can't measure with love.
Oh, I measure with love. That's the problem. I can't measure with science.
And I'm just going in random order, and then I'll whisk.
Yeah,
I'll whisk,
no.
then fold. Okay, so back to convention.
Yes.
We talked about the networking. We've talked about the people. I would say the filling would be, metaphorically, the programming. Yes?
Definitely the content.
Definitely the content. Okay, Renee, you have a lot to do with the content. Like it doesn't happen without you.
Yeah, I mean, like just to kind of talk about like the biggest things that I impacted
Yeah.
at convention is AV, audio visual things.
Mhm.
And we've grown in leaps and bounds in that department since I came on. Not to say that it's all me by any means, but technologically we've done a lot more things year after year. We've been able to do, you know, live conversations literally with someone who was in Africa, Rwanda at the time, and that was amazing. You know, we love the challenge of getting to do it. We've got bigger and better, more screens, more presentation with the floating BEMA symbols and so on and so forth. So
You said it's not all about you, but you know, I heard the speakers after you warmed them up last year, and they said it's pretty much all about you.
I'm flattered by that. I don't think that is true. You know, as a team, we kind of have to come together to do that, and I'm just there to make them feel comfortable because they're the show. You know, I'm behind the scenes sitting in a booth hiding with a headset on, which is how I prefer it, honestly.
Well, Kelly,
You are behind the scenes for sure. We make it all happen back there.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
yeah. As a team, we put that all together.
as long as we can see you from across the room.
That's right, and I can do the no, yes, yes.
More of this, less of that. Well, Kelly, okay, so we are 6 years in, going on number 7. So we've seen a lot of programming. I was like, what are those chunks? The chocolate chips, I already dumped them in. I was like, the brown sugar just got really lumpy.
Chunks lead to panic when you're making things,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's multitasking here. What have you seen change and transform in the programming over the course of 7 years?
Oh, hands down, I think the biggest thing I've seen change is the diversity and the quality of the content. We are seeing more bakers and suppliers up on stage, different positions and levels within organizations up on stage, and we're talking about just such a different variety of things that I love just continuing to see that develop and grow.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites we do year after year, but it's never the same, which is Ask a Baker. It's super easy for you. Mic them up and let them go.
Oh, I love the realness of it.
They're answering live questions,
Yeah.
so there is a real organic nature to it, and it's always a hit.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That looks so good. So we have our pie crust all rolled out and ready to go.
Wow,
Just
yeah.
magically, I'm so fast.
You are
It's
fast.
a pie pan, so we can bring it all together now by putting that filling in there.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it.
Okay. What brings us all together at convention? Oh, there's so many things.
So many things. So I think that the bringing it all together is my favorite part of convention. We start out years in advance with our chairman working on picking the perfect property. We start talking about who we're going to invite, what the theme of our event wants to be, the content, down to the little details of the color of the napkins that are going to be on the tables at the chairman's dinner. So my favorite part is when it all comes together and we walk into that welcome reception, or what this year is going to be the welcome jamboree, and we see it all it's happening. Everybody's there, everybody's happy, talking, having a drink, connecting, reconnecting, and just excited for the week.
Having a drink is it time?
Of course, having a drink, right? Probably a Mandula.
Emily, that looks good. That looks real good. You did a great job.
Thanks.
To me, that's the magic of convention.
It's not my first pie. It's my first chocolate pecan bourbon pie, but it's not my first pie.
Well,
So I have a moment
Mhm.
where it all comes together,
Mhm.
and it's one where you go,
Yep.
or at least we all do, and it's when everyone leaves for their small group dinners.
Oh yeah.
They found who they're having dinner with, they're off to have a wonderful time. Sometimes we attend, sometimes we don't, but it's such a job to get them all matched up, then find each other in person, and then
Get them in a
depart.
car. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and they're off. It's like sending kids off to school almost. You're like, we did it.
It is like that. Very
Okay,
much
so is this going in the oven?
Yes, it is.
On pan in the oven?
Of course, I got flour on the bottom.
On pan in an oven.
Yeah, keep it from spilling. All right.
Teamwork.
In it goes.
Just like convention. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
All right, it's in. How long does this pie bake?
55 minutes.
55 minutes. Wow.
This is gonna be a long podcast, so 55
We
minutes.
have to make a lot more of these.
More.
And then we're going to have to Uber home.
But fortunately, I do believe I saw that there may already be a pie that's ready to go. Is
What
that
do you mean?
that true?
I don't know.
Why don't you check the oven, Renee?
Oh yeah, sure. It's me.
Oh my goodness.
That was a quick 55 minutes.
Well, that was a super fast transformation. So let's also just talk a little bit more about the transformation of convention. while we get ready to eat this pie.
Nice.
Looks delicious, smells delicious.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm thinking back through. I'm gonna grab these materials. back
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Please. Here, I'll hand you this. Nothing like a knife on a tray for top safety.
That's a safety first.
How do you want this? Okay, there you go.
I was gonna have you cut the pie.
Okay,
I think you should go for it.
no pressure.
No pressure.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be yummy.
It's going to be yummy. We'll just move those right out of the way.
Yeah, why not?
They'll magically wash themselves. Okay, I'm thinking convention. Some of the things that first timers will want to know, and maybe people that just haven't been for a few years. Everyone will be getting a welcome call, I believe, from Morgan that will answer a lot of questions. They can ask questions with the welcome call.
New Morgan.
New
Yeah, I was gonna
Morgan.
say, who's Morgan?
Yeah, new Morgan joined our team as project coordinator. She joined our team officially. She's been at IBIE twice, so she's in. We like to start people off with the biggest event that we only host every 3 years and see if they can survive.
You don't say.
So welcome calls will be very helpful.
Yes.
Our website's very helpful, and it has everything down to who should attend each event and what to wear. So if you've never been, or again, you haven't been in a while, or you know that things change from year to year, a very popular question is, what do I wear to the chairman's?
Oh my gosh, always.
The what to wear is good because I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of fella.
So you really need to know if it's black
I
tie.
really need, and maybe a little description about what resort casual is because that one comes up a lot and not necessarily how I normally dress. So it's good to have that. It's good to
Yes.
have that information.
What to wear is definitely on the website. Got it?
Got one.
All right.
First one's always the hardest one.
The other
you.
information that you can find, you're welcome, on the website is tours and transportation. So you're going to land in Savannah, probably about 30 minutes from Palmetto Bluff. If you don't want to drive, you don't want to rent a car, and we would say you might not need one this year because the resort is pretty, I wouldn't call it secluded, but it's off the beaten path.
It's actually a 400-acre nature preserve.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
Secluded is not the prettiest word. It's kind of scary. Secluded is like where a horror house is. We're talking about like it's very pristine nature.
Yeah.
it's a very intimate setting, and the cool thing about this year is it's just BEMA. We are the only group and the only attendees on property this year. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
BEMA everywhere.
BEMA everywhere.
BEMA everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And transportation's provided to Baker Dinner. So if you arrange your transportation to and from the airport, we've arranged your transportation to small group dinners. There really might not be a need for a car.
Yum.
The other thing I can think of that people are interested in always asking us about are tours.
Tours.
What can we do for fun with our family? Do you want to talk about some of the tour options?
Absolutely. We have some great tour opportunities this year. Biking the Bluff is my personal favorite tour this year. Emily and I got to do that when we were on our site visit back in August. The Bluff is beautiful. You go on a toured bike ride. The person that leads the tour knows everything about the area, from the science of the marsh to the details about the animals you might see, to the trees, everything. You will actually go all the way out to Moreland Island, where we are having our welcome jamboree.
Yep.
You'll get to see that tree house. You'll get to go down this beautiful dirt road that is covered with these old growth oaks. It's the most beautiful setting.
Spanish moss for days.
Spanish moss hanging down. They said that people take golf carts out there in their wedding dresses and tuxedos to take wedding photos on this dirt road.
It's Instagram perfection.
It is. It's gorgeous. So you'll get to go down
I know
that
you're into
famous road.
Oh yeah.
So biking the Bluff, great opportunity. The property is located on the May River, so we still get to do some water activities as well. There's a dolphin tour,
Kayaking.
kayaking. On Friday, oh,
Good times.
this year we're doing tours a little differently. We have Thursday afternoon, which is during our traditional time that we normally have tours, but Friday, because of the weather and because of the opportunity to go fishing, we're going to do tours in the morning and then start our programming in the afternoon.
Yep.
So Friday morning we will be offering toured fishing on the May River as well. There's an old Bluffton tour. You can go into Bluffton and go shopping and have lunch.
Yep.
I think that's all of them.
In addition to everything there is naturally to do on the property, there are activities everywhere.
Porching.
Porching.
Porching. That was not southern enough.
Is it at 2:30 in the afternoon?
I believe so.
Yep.
The hotel actually puts out lemonade and cookies, and they have rocking chairs all over this property, on the front porch, on the back porch. You can go get a cookie and a lemonade and go sit on the, or a cocktail,
There you go. Yeah.
and go just relax on the porch. That's something they do in the South.
That
Fortune.
That's I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Fortune.
Fortune.
Yeah.
That's my speed all day long.
I'm kind of looking forward to tasting our pie, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that sounds great.
So excited. I'm so glad it cooked so quickly.
I know.
Okay.
Mm.
And
Okay.
maybe
That is good. That is
Oh.
good.
man,
Mhm.
no chocolate. There's money in there, and the bourbon's a nice
It adds a nice little flavor.
Yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
That was a good recipe you found.
I'm gonna eat more of that. Not on camera, but I'm gonna eat more of that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So,
All right, so if
Man,
somebody
that's good.
is coming to convention and they need more information, they want to know what to wear, they want to know who they can bring, what to expect, what do they need to do?
they need to go to our website. They need to go to BEMA.org. It's all in there. It's well organized. It's updated quite regularly. I hear mid-March the baker list will be posted. So if you're interested in what bakers will be attending,
Mhm.
just keep checking back. We love to give previews on social media. So follow us there. For today, I would like to thank Rene for being our first guest.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
We loved having you. We'll probably invite you back.
I would be honored. I'd look forward to it for sure. So.
You'll definitely see Rene at convention. And Kelly and I thank you for joining us in the kitchen. And we'll be back next time with a new episode.
See you in June.
Bye.
Bye.